got it.
You know, sometimes it's just so hard to come up with new ideas, yet when you're doing nothing, that's when lightning strikes. So this video is dedicated to boredom and how it's the secret ingredient to startup success. Now, there are a bunch of really cool stories of founders who started their businesses out of boredom that I'll go into shortly, but first I want to share with you 4 ways that you can leverage boredom to inspire creativity and a couple of ways that you can leverage it in your everyday life. Now, the first reason why boredom is super useful is because it gives you a bunch of mental space. So if you're not focused on solving a specific problem, it allows your mind to wander and really breathe. So that unconscious problem solving allows a lot of those random eureka moments to happen, like the one I had in the shower. The second one I'll call restlessness. And I feel like this is a powerful motivator for any itchy entrepreneurs out there. My wife and I combat with this all the time when we're bored. We feel like we have to engage in something creative or come up with a new idea. And it doesn't have to be a new startup. It could be solving a problem within your current business. And the act of creating something to alleviate the feeling of being bored is, I feel, the definition of creativity in the first place. The third benefit is downtime. Because often when someone decides to be bored, they disconnect themselves from anything technology related. So whether that be work emails or social media. So without that constant stimulation, it allows yourself to look really inward, right? And just think about when you were a kid. You know, some of the best and most creative ideas or adventures or stories that you tell yourself happened when you didn't have all of this technology distracting yourself. So downtime is great. And the last beneficial aspect of boredom is divergent thinking, which is the fancy way of saying you're not focused. Because often when you're focused, you're going to come out with one solution when you're faced with a problem. Whereas when you're bored and you're not focused, you could come up with multiple solutions because your brain is just wandering and it's scattered. So divergent thinking is something that a lot of entrepreneurs should try and harness, and you can do it by being bored. And if you're unsure about this whole boredom thing, here are a bunch of successful entrepreneurs that credit their ideas to idle time or when they were super bored. Surely you know Harry Potter. The idea for Harry Potter came to J.K. Rowling during a delayed train journey from Manchester to London. She described herself as staring out the window, daydreaming when the idea fell into her head. Drew Houston came up with the idea for Dropbox when he repeatedly forgot his USB flash drive while a student at MIT. During his bored, idle moments, he started thinking about how to solve this problem and eventually led to the creation of Dropbox. The idea for Instagram's filters came when Kevin Systrom and his girlfriend were walking on a beach in Mexico. Out of boredom, they started discussing why their vacation photos weren't as appealing as they'd like, which led to the concept of easy-to-use filters. Richard Branson's idea for Virgin Atlantic allegedly came when he was stranded in Puerto Rico due to a cancelled flight. Bored and frustrated, he chartered a plane and sold seats to other stranded passengers, and the idea for his airline was born. Phil Knight conceived the initial idea for Nike during a boring business class at Stanford. He was tasked with creating a business plan, and out of boredom and necessity, he devised the plan that would eventually become Nike. And finally, Steve Jobs was known for his long walks, which he used for thinking and problem solving. These relatively monotonous activities often led to creative breakthroughs. The concept of the Apple Store, for instance, is said to have come to him during one of these walks. So those are some pretty cool and real examples of how boredom has led to some of the most innovative ideas we've ever seen. So okay, how do we implement this boredom time into our daily schedule so we can come up with some ideas of our own? Now there's 3 things that work for me, and everyone's different, so you might have to find your own thing, but the first, as boring as it sounds, is schedule it in. And this could be 30-45 minutes every other day or even once a week to start with, where you allow your mind to wander and just have a bunch of unstructured thinking. You'd be surprised what you come up with. The second one is embrace the monotonous activities. And your partner or significant other is going to love you for this. Fold those clothes, wash those dishes, do the gardening, take the trash out. Sometimes those are the moments where you're like, holy moly, I should have done it that way. You know, I really love those things. And the third thing I've been really enjoying lately is what they call floats. Like, it's those sensory deprivation tanks. If you can do it, every now and then just treat yourself. Go into one of those salt floats. It's really good for your back and your muscles because it kind of helps you ease the soreness there. But you're literally just lying there, and if you have them turn the music off, you're stuck with nothing but your own thoughts. And you turn the lights off and everything, you got nothing going on. You can have some really profound thinking in those moments, whether it's business or personal development related or spiritual or whatever you're into. That stuff is really cool. It really helps. And I also like to carry on a little notebook that I keep in my jacket pocket. It's like only really small with a tiny little pencil or pen because I love jotting down ideas when I'm bored. And yeah, you can use your notes in your phone, but there's something about just writing in a little notebook that is creative in itself to me that I just love and I love doing. So again, everyone's different, so do your own thing. So hopefully this video was helpful, because I really do feel sometimes entrepreneurs and first-time founders are out there are just on all the time, whether they're networking, they're trying to raise funding, they're pitching their idea all the time. They don't allow themselves to get bored, or they feel guilty when they feel bored because they're not doing anything. I'm here to tell you, being bored is great. Embrace it. So good luck, have fun, and don't forget, you've got this.